And right now I'm seeing on Facebook, we have an answer on Facebook already. Yes, we have an answer on Facebook already. That's good. That's good. Let me see. Right. So the answer to the question, why I'm not getting my YouTube people yet? I not seen my YouTube. So the answer to the question is yes, Joseph. And Vera has gotten that question correct. Vera had gotten that question correct. The answer is Joseph. That is correct, right? And on the YouTube, I haven't seen anybody on the YouTube yet, waiting for them to come on board to give the answer to their question. But on Facebook, the answer is Joseph. So we have Vera starting the road to answer the question. Number 2, what upright young man was made ruler over the whole province of Babylon? Put number 2 and then get it. Put number 2 and then get it. What upright man was made ruler over the whole province of Babylon? Put your answer and then put number 2. Yes, I'm seeing somebody saying to me, it's Peggy Lee that got the first answer correct. So right, so Peggy got the first answer correct, which was Joseph. So I acknowledge you, Peggy. I acknowledge you. It's always good to know that Mr. Peggy Ann is there. So the answer to the second question, what upright young man was made ruler over the whole province of Babylon? Well, okay, I see Peggy again. Peggy come up with the answer. So Peggy has 2 in the bucket. The answer is Daniel. That is correct. All right, so the answer is Daniel. Daniel is the answer to the question. Okay, the third one. Let's get to the third one quickly. The third question, because after this, we're going to go to our Bible question and answer period and continue from where we left off. The third one. What? This is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. What island was Sergius Paulus, who became a Christian, the deputy of? You see, they're answering the question so quickly and nice. I have to put a little pause and spoke in your wheel a little bit, So let's go with that. What island was Sergius Paulus, who became a Christian, the deputy of? Let's see if you can get that one, boy. Let's see if you can get that one. Answer for number 3 and put that there. So this seems to be a tough one. Everybody thinking. What island was Sergius Paulus, who became a Christian, the deputy of? This is for number 3. You find the answer in Acts chapter 13, from verse 4 to 7. You will get the answer there, Acts 13, verse 4 to 7. I actually given you the answer. It all depends on how fast you can type, but I given you the answer, in Acts 13, verse 4 to 7. What island was Sergius Paulus, who became a Christian, the deputy of? Now, I'm seeing an answer here on Facebook where somebody's saying it's Crete. Now that could be disputable, Yes, that could be disputable. I said Acts 13, 4 to 7. So if we go to Acts 13, 4, somebody said the Isle of Patmos. But what trouble is this? What are we going to Revelation for? I never said about Revelation, Isle of Patmos, come on. No, I'm still looking for a particular place. It's a tough one. I know, Joanne, is a tough one. It beginning with C. It's a difficult here. Beginning with C is not Crete. It's not Crete, but beginning with C. All right. So who can get that answer quickly? It's not Crete. Question: what island was Sergius Paulus, who became a Christian, the deputy of? Yes. Oh, look trouble now. Alice, come on the scene, Alice now joining. Good high noon. Come on quickly, I know I'm telling all the one time. What island was Sergius Paulus, who became a Christian, the deputy of? The answer to that question is yes, Alice John. You take the words out of my mouth. Cyprus. That is the correct answer. The correct answer is Cyprus. All right. So for a Bible quiz question, I must acknowledge, and please join with me in acknowledging Sister Peggy Lee as the one who would get the Bible quiz question acknowledgement and championship for today, for this high noon. So let's acknowledge Peggy Lee, please. Technical director, give her that welcoming round of applause. All right, Peggy. All right, I'm giving you the live one from. All right, from Brother Wendell itself. You get your live one. Get your live one. All right, good. So we want to go into our question and answer period at this time. If you have been studying or following the Bible programs that we have had, you'd realize that once we started this particular topic, it was so important not to just leave alone, but just to have a follow-up on what was being said so that we would have no doubts whatsoever in regards to whether God exists or the existence of God. And then we started getting some real heavy stuff where Brother Ricky Lewis Cooper has been talking about different arguments, the theological argument, which is centered around a design must have a designer. And if you even look at the universe, you realize that the universe didn't just come about by itself. Somebody with that knowledge was able to put things exactly where it ought to be. And he talked about where the sun is and where the moon is. You have to realize that everything is done in such a precise manner, in such an articulate way, that it couldn't be just a man doing that, because man himself would have to exceed the very thing that exists, but he is part of a creation. So it couldn't be man. And it couldn't be, as you rightly said, the atoms, whether large, small, great, big, this bang that you call in fact, they have movies about it, they have shows about it, the Big Bang Theory and all sort of thing. It's not that. And then he talks about the human body and the DNA. And I was really amazed with so much things that happening even in the realm of that, where we can't even see with the naked eye, the DNA and the things that takes place, the code system that we find ourselves under. And then he talk about the cosmological argument, right? Where we're presenting the cause and the effects, and why, when you look at two main areas, the necessary existence and the dependent existence. I love the explanation that goes behind that, because if you have to explain to somebody the existence of God, is not just saying, let's go to the Bible. There are other evidences that you can use even before you go into the Bible. There are other arguments that you can put forth to let individuals consider, just to consider, that everything that exists could not be because of a Big Bang, could not be because Brother Wendell just snapped his finger and the things come into being, but it has to be somebody greater, somebody more supreme, somebody we need to learn a lot about. And the only reason why Brother Ricky Lewis Cooper is here at this time is because of the knowledge that he has, the information, and the way he's able to bring it in a simple manner. We invited him to come and continue where he had left off. So, Brother Ricky, I hope I did good at the introduction. So, right now, it is your turn.
Thank you, Brother. Once again, I want to say good afternoon to everyone, and we want to continue our journey. We have a lot to cover, and I know. Okay, all right. Let me see if I can just do a little adjustment here with my mic. All right. Thank you very much, brother. Oh, I think I did right.
Okay, he's just making adjustments to his microphone so that we'll be able to hear him. But we're still not hearing you, Brother Ricky. Yeah, we're still not hearing you. Your icon indicates it's unmuted, but it's just still not hearing. Let me see. All right, okay. So for those who are viewing so far, you just have a little technical difficulty in terms of getting the volume working, because it makes no sense. He's saying a lot of things and you cannot hear him. All right. And again, just to give you a recap, we have been looking at the existence of God, because in this world, there are many people who still do not believe, who still do not have that conviction of who God is. And we started off by talking about people who are agnostics, people who have doubts, people who would look at nature and they would look at the power of nature and still have doubts in regards to somebody being a supreme ruler and creator of all things. Look at the atheist who himself, he does not believe that God exists. He does not believe in a supreme being. He does not believe that somebody is greater than what we see, hear, and touch. But they rely on science to make their own conclusion. We understand that the pantheist, he says God is everything. And he's not absent at all in anything, but he's just everything. And because he's everything, sometimes you cannot differentiate now that God is triune, meaning that you have the Father, you have the Son, and you have the Holy Spirit. All right? And then we talk about those who are deists. They believe God is not active in the world. So the world now is functioning by itself. As the earth spins, it's functioning by itself. The sun is functioning by itself. The moon is right where it is, and everything is by itself. Nothing is in control of it. Everything is just moving as if it is under some kind of computerized, system. And then we talk about the theist. The theist is in relation to knowing that there is a God, and knowing that he is in existence, he's active today. And if he's active today, it simply means that everything that happens in this world is not without the knowledge of God, is not without the understanding of who he is, because God does exist. And whether or not the agnostic or the atheist or the pantheist or the deist, they don't want to recognize and hold on to accept that fact, we must come to the conclusion that God is God, and that doesn't change. It does not change, all right? And because it does not change, we now have to come to the conclusion that there have to be somebody that exists. I think one of the things that we found out in this world today, while we wait for Brother Ricky to come on, because he's not on as yet, I don't think his volume is still being recorded, volume part yet. All right. One of the things I want us to understand in the chat, and we can make this discussion in the chat